create. This is not up for debate. Start that business off a service, make a product. It's not too late. I said create, then make it better. Innovate, network, interface. Get the right people in your space. I said create. If they gon' hate, then let them hate. But if you got God-given talent, that ain't something you should waste. I said create, make it curve.
Welcome to the Streets Entrepreneurs. And before we go any further, I would like everybody to take a moment of silence for all the loved ones that we done lost, and to the family and friends and victims to Buffalo, New York, and across the world. Move forward. Welcome to the Streets of Entrepreneurs, your urban podcast. Let's take it back. Welcome to the Streets of Entrepreneurs, your newest urban podcast till we not. And I know y'all probably have heard that before, and a lot of y'all probably don't even know what the Streets of Entrepreneur podcast is. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna get into what the Streets of Entrepreneur podcast is and why I started doing it. I wanted to get into a lot of current events that's going on today, but I'm like, nah, let's get focused to solutions. That's the whole point of the Streets of Entrepreneurs, is solutions. So what is the Streets of Entrepreneurs? The Streets of Entrepreneurs podcast, why I started it was to help me understand me, and then also now show the people around me and whoever's listening that you also can do it. You probably like, what? Do what? How did starting a podcast help me, and what did it help me do, right? So first, me starting a podcast helped me overcome the fear of change. It helped me overcome the fear of not fitting in no more, because something switched in me to make me understand, all right, bam, certain avenues I was going wasn't going to lead me to nothing of longevity in life. Now I'm around a whole bunch of people and we all living like this temporarily. We risking our lives and doing a whole bunch of stuff to be caged up and hurt each other, right? But then when I started talking about working together, let's start doing businesses and other avenues, it was like I started feeling isolated from the people around me. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? Am I bugging? Like, we could talk about Jerry Springer for hours on a corner smoking weed and drinking, but now I don't feel comfortable, or you don't feel comfortable because of me saying like, yo, bro, we need to work together, or let's really start a business, or yo, that music you doing, bro, you need to really go harder, and I'm with you, I'm gonna support you. And no lie, I'm gonna be 100% honest, 95% of the people around me that was immediate started to separate from me. And it's like, wow. So now it's like, I have to find a way to, not say trick, but how to reverse this situation for my peers or the people around me that be like, okay, now let me listen to Doc. And I was around a woman recently, and she was like, Doc, don't never water yourself down to your mans and them if what you saying is something that's gonna help them or bring them up. If they don't wanna hear it. But I was like, I hear that too, and I understand that. But it's also different ways that you can reverse it to where people that don't wanna hear still are going to hear, especially when it comes from our culture. So I took the internet route because I know a lot of people are influenced from what other people think, or the fad, or the clout, or the fame. So I was like, if I could get 1 million people to agree with my podcast, or 100,000, 20, maybe the people around me start actually believing in what I'm saying by actually doing it. So I started doing the podcasting. And at first, you know, I'm like, oh, how we gonna do this? We gonna do this like everybody else, ratchet talk and current events on unnecessary topics just to garner, you know, let's say sponsorship, views, or likes. Because a lot of the stuff we watch is not helping us. It's not giving us any solutions to the people that I'm like, me, like struggling, single fathers and single mothers, living check to check, working 9-to-5 jobs, hustling, going in and out of jail. These are the real people I'm living around. I don't know no Futures. I don't know no Chicago niggas. I ain't running around here doing no drilling and spilling, whatever. I ain't facing too much racism like that, or a whole bunch of cops in my neighborhood is trying to kill just black people and stuff. I'm not going through that to be constantly indulging in that. The war in Ukraine ain't really affecting me right now besides gas maybe. But I know people is dying out there, but to the people that's living around me every day, we going through some right now that we need help with in the next hours or today, the following day or weeks. You constantly get around people, we constantly indulge in information and do stuff that does not amount to no solutions to nothing that we're going through. So I was like, let me just focus on entrepreneur stuff, you know, to making sure so I don't drag you out. And you like, well, wait a minute, entrepreneur stuff. You feel me? Yes, and I say entrepreneur stuff, right? Because the reason I did it and titled it The Streets to Entrepreneurs is because the average street person, hood person that's coming from the ghettos, dilapidated buildings and, you know, coming from the bottom, most of them have a natural ability of entrepreneurial traits. Meaning, if you could go somewhere and pick bottles on your own and bring them in and make money, you're an entrepreneur. If you got products you selling, you are an entrepreneur. If you got the gift the gab, you're an entrepreneur. If you're a musician, artist, hairstylist, cook food good, you babysitting everybody kids, you're an entrepreneur if you're making some money from this, or you're making a profit or benefit, you're making assets from this. Even money is not an asset. You're probably making a network system from people because you're helping other people. That's an entrepreneur. That's what the meaning of that is. So to the average, let's say, let me get direct to my average hood nigga or whatever, let's say our dope boys, you an entrepreneur. And the funny thing is, right, this is funny, right? They have a class in Harvard, one of the top Ivy League schools, that deals with business, like the business part of Harvard, one of the highest business schools you could go to, has a course that is based upon drug dealers. Why? Because a drug dealer is one of the top salesmen that you could ever imitate or learn something from. Because I watched the interview recently with Country Rain, right? And he said this, because you actually have to market a product that you can't promote legally, meaning like you can't put billboards up, you can't make coupons for it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got weed legal with people, or you know, in it with the cereals and stuff, but no. To be a hustler, actually go outside, find niggas to sell death to, takes a lot of talent. You have marketing, H&R you doing, branding, advertising, every legal term that you could come up from business, entrepreneurial stuff, being an entrepreneur, legally, you do illegally as a hustler. Since I could do that and sell that, I could sell anything now. Let me just reverse me being a hustler and hustling illegal stuff to hustling legal stuff. So I'm like, bam, me talking about this is a product. So let me make a podcast, show the bros I make a podcast, get it booming, and make some money from it and show like, all right, bro, we can make some money just from talking on the camera. We ain't gotta go outside, get shot at no more. We ain't gotta deal with no snitching, none of that. We go home to the kids. You can do this shit with the kids. And it's just funny that a lot of people that's going through a lot of turmoil still in the streets, the hood, struggling, not seeing at least that, but spend a whole bunch of time on the internet and on their phones. And so basically, that's the whole meaning of why I came up with the Streets to Entrepreneurs. Now, stay tuned for more because we're about to do more of these, and I know I'm dolo now, but we got some interviews coming up. We got some new music coming. The NFT project is still in development. You can go on to Rarible or OpenSea and buy into our already NFT projects. We have a couple episodes up there, some music up there, stuff like that. Shout out to sponsors, everybody. We gonna show everybody that's been supporting and I've been networking with out here. And that's about it for today, people. Welcome to the Streets to Entrepreneurs. I am your host today with my son, Pooh Plank. He over there in the cut if you ain't seen him. Shout my son out. Boom. But yeah, go get your Pooh Plank NFT. I know I'm looking rough or whatever the case may be. We wanted to get this out from the beginning. Because like I said, we're not going to say we started at the bottom. No. We're going to tell them that we took every risk, every struggle, every opportunity to make it from the bottom. But stay tuned for more. Thank you for tuning in to the Streets to Entrepreneurs.
He asks me who I do it for. I tell him I did it for the Jets, did it for the streets, I did it for them niggas. Welcome. Thank you, ladies and gents, for coming to another Die Black show. Now, gracing in your ears is Promise.
My vision cloudy, can't see beyond the fog. This a double R, take a seat up under stars. And let's ride to the rhythm of your heart and don't hide. Don't play petty from the scars, I know you broke it. They play confetti with your heart, but let me be the glue and put the pieces back to park. You said it's water, you be the sea, I'll be your shark. And here's the order, I give you D, you give me eyes. I know what you wanted, cause I seen it in your eyes. And know what they want, they wanna see a nigga die. Vision cloudy, can't see beyond the fog. This a double R, take a seat up under stars and let's ride to the rhythm of your heart and don't hide. Don't be petty from them scars.